Okay. So, since we said Likutei Halacha, Simchas Tefila Halacha Daled, we're in the middle of Sif Zayin. Since that in Kedusha, in holiness, the melitzo, the advocacy, the inspired advocacy is extremely precious. That particular sect that inspired the oratory, this inspired oratory fell, and it twisted, they completely twisted the Elokim Chaim, and they chose inspired oratory to their own bad ways, to spend their days on oratory, and inspired oratory and convincing oratory. כדי להמשיך להם ישראל חס ושלום דרכם אחר כך והפילוסופים, to pull and yearn and to seduce the heart of Israel to their ways of science and philosophy. Seduction is the art of coercing, forcing somebody to desire you. It's a violent act. Seduction is a coercion. It's like a rape. You force somebody to desire what it is, either what you sell or whatever it is. That's what seduction is. Melitza is basically the art of seduction. The Kedusha, it wins you heavenly favor. Because we are so damaged. We are like filthy from top to bottom. With Melitza, you can inspire the highest bechinas of heavenly kotzi, bechinas kesed, just to forgive everything, to let everything go. Especially with the melody, with the sound. That's why on Shoshone and Kippur it's full with singing, and Melitza and Piyutim, and because it's basically, the appeasement, advocacy, and seduction to be all. Inspired oratory and seduction. They seduce Am Yisrael to their ways. Asher kol ba'er yeshuv, and all those who enter that her gates will never come back. They will never achieve the ways of life. With this they yank they uproot themselves, their children, and their talmidim that go after them from both worlds. Everybody knows where they end up. Through their, inspired speakers. They talk badly on Hashem, His Likutei, the Tanoim, the Meroim, and they're making fun of Agadas, and the Gemara, and the Drasha, and they follow the ways of the Goyim and their Minhagim, and not only this, but they force themselves dafka to follow at all times in the ways and the Minhagim of the Goyim, with their apartments, and their kalim, and their cars, and their clothing, and their movements, and their, what is considered cool and what is considered nebish. It's all based on the Goyish model. The Torah Kedosha warned us on this. Don't go in their ways. Don't look like them. Don't resemble them in any single way. Says Shulchan Aruch, you're there, Kufayim. and to spend days, this is what they do, they spend days on such melitza, on such oratory, that does not bring you to a Kodesh Baruch Hu and to Zavayda. Adrabah, it takes a person completely away. And bevadai, there's no greater craziness than that. That's the meaning of that particular cult, that they took a crazy Frenchman to be a melech because he could talk a handle off a door. He's just like, wow. And he knew some languages, and he was speaking even to himself. He probably didn't speak to himself for very long because he probably found out he couldn't listen. And even though they want to cover the sheker that because first they do a feint, they camouflage themselves. And they said to Amshel that they want to teach them really mikra, they want to Tanakh, learn Tanakh well, with all the dikduk of the lashon, the language, the way, the grammar. But really, the entire kavan is only for that. That's the melapikosis, that they disbelieve the Torah Shabbat Peh in Ganzen, like the Karaim Mamash. And the Akar from Torah Shabbat Peh, remember that the Akar from Torah Shabbat, they don't know anything, because the truth is that we don't know anything what the Torah Shabbat means without the Torah Shabbat Peh. I once heard a saying, it used to be, today, Baruch Hashem, things are very different. But it used to be that whole group, the whole, religious Jews, they did not believe in Kabbalah and Nistar. They said, this is Torah. So one of the Gedolim said, anybody who overtly disbelieves Torah B'Nistar, B'Nistar covertly does not believe in Torah B'Migla. We don't know anything from Torah B'Ksav without what Chazal said. In the Gemara, in the Midrashim, said, Tipach Rucha V'Nishmasa. תדע השם יראה כאן. שמכריחים עצמם תמיד לפורש, תמיד כל פי דרך הפשוט דייקה בלי שום דרושו. That they force themselves always to mefarish the mikro to the simple way, dafka, without no drosho, and the inner inside of the bad kavanah to anybody who is shtickle baki in their bad ways, that the entire kavanah is to explain the Torah through apidarke melitza, their ways, as if there's really no pnimius, there's no insight to this. And what they praise Moshe Rabbeinu very much. He says it was Melis, he was a great talker, he was a great orator. And some Nevi'im, they don't like their oration. There's oy lahem ve'oy lenafsham, woe to them and woe to the neshama. Because even if they jump on they skip on all the mountains and all the hills, they can never explain the Halachot Torah in a way that it will fit the Darkei Melitza. Because there are a lot of psukim in the Torah that, countless psukim in the Torah that have no explanation, has no meaning al pshat. Not only this, specifically when they totally negate the din, like it's mekubal to us from Moshe Rabbeinu, like 6 days you should eat matzahs. And really, ubishalta ve'achalta, you should cook and should eat. In Pesach, really the Pesach can only eat, roasted, cannot be cooked. 40 yakenu, 40 you will hit him. And we're talking about 39 lashes. Okay, so there's a lot of things. Bifrat, kol sipuris, ma'ases shebetorah, specifically all the stories in the Torah. Shekol ot ve'ot v'chol, nekud ve'nekud, and every single letter, every nikud of them, of the entire Torah, there is supernal mysteries and secrets. Rosen Genizim. These are closeted and vaulted secrets. Razin verazin. Secrets and secrets in the razin le'elo, above and above and above and above, ad ein tzavam tachlis, to no end. As the Zohar Kodesh is, really curses the Kodesh a lot, that it says that the only thing in the Torah is just for Pshat. Ki be'emet ein tzarich lelmod mikra ki mipirosh Rashi levad. The only way to learn Torah that you have to learn is only with Rashi. That Rashi HaKodesh forces himself very much to mifarish the mikra al Pshat. But in places he cannot mifarish al Pshat because of Kabbalah's Chazal, he's mifarish through the way Chazal say it. And also the places where Rashi mifarish al mikra al pi pashut, he says al pi Pshat, he still brings what Chazal say. In other words, to announce, there's still many ways to understand this mission. There's many meanings underneath it. And anybody who deviates from learning Pirush Rashi, to learn their bad explanations. He's like somebody who lives a long life. And he yanks himself, he uproots himself from the source of life. From his Likutei. He says, this is not the place, to write at great length about it. He says, because there's not enough paper anywhere to finish everything. This is the bitterness of the tzara, of this problem that happened in our days. It also reached where we are. The main value of inspired oratory is the tachlis ha'amiti, it's from the real tachlis. To come closer to Kodesh Baruch Hu through this. And anybody who's to such a melitza, and he spends his day, to convince, to appease, and to seduce Kodesh Baruch Hu with Tefila, with Achanonim, or make his word tasty to Am Yisrael. So they will, so they will be Ma'eret Avodas Hashem. Fortunate he is, and fortunate is his lot. And anybody, that's okay, because you're not very good at it. This doesn't hold you back. Don't worry about it. Does not look for you. It doesn't look to trip you up. Does not demand, does not expect a person to do what he cannot do. You can come closer to Kodesh Baruch Hu according to you, according to your speech, your way of talking, just the way you are. Any which way you talk to Kodesh Baruch Hu will accept it like this sheer poetry. Like your little child, when they say to you, the dada, mama, they say, look, they call me mommy. It's like, it's better than hearing opera when your little child says, mommy, daddy for the first time. Kitzel Hashem Yisborach ha'ikir wa'emes. But the main thing is the truth. The main thing is the truth, the real truth. That the meaning of your heart will be be'emes. Because everything goes according to the meaning of your heart. Hashem is close to all those who call him. All those who call him in truth. That you aim your heart be'emes. As I offer pisha enu meilitz, even though you're stuttering, you can't talk worth a darn nothing. It's like you go, whatever you say. Once I saw a cartoon, a person walking in the street, and he's whistling, and there's a bird standing on the wire, and he's going, and the bird is looking like with question mark, and the bird goes, "It's same to you, pal." But somebody, even though you're not a melitz, you never learned poetry, you never trained in that. Your mouth and your heart get opened. And you can say beautiful words and true kindness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And no matter what, you're not going to cause damage with your words. Those that teach their children to learn mikra according to their darkei melitza, bring to tremendous heresies and big rishus. As in your orators, you know, they sin against what advantage is somebody that has a sleek tongue. You know, white men sleep with, speaks with forked tongue. What the Indians in America used to say. Get off me your multitude of poetry and your songs. And Yechezkel said, you've buried me with your words. You're too much already. You've overloaded me. And it says in Tehillim, Al tarimu lamarom karnechem, don't lift to heaven, your importance. Kedavru b'tzavaratak, and speaking, with a long neck, with great pride, speak, falsely. Ukmechsiv te'eramna sifsei sheker aderik al tzadik osak begava vavuz. May the lips, the false lips, that speak on the tzaddik, all the wrong things, all the bad things, with pride and derision, be sealed, be dumped. Moshe Chazal te'alamno isparchon itzcharashon ishtatkum. Ador l'tzidiko shel oilom. Those will be sealed and closed. Those lips who speak about the tzaddik of the world, which is the Kodesh Baruch Hu. V'aklal, the principle, since there is, holy oration, this is an incredible, precious thing. And that's how they swayed all the way through that taivas, until they said that the main thing is to speak beautifully. Big Baal of Melitza. And they took them, Ish Tzarfati Meshugar, took a crazy Frenchman that knew a few, languages from Melech. Quote unquote, they were oil. Up to here,